All right, hello and welcome to the week one recap of our Family Fantasy League. I'm going to be going through some of the standings, fantasy scores, best performances, our awards, and the power rankings for week one. This week one slate was out of control. Comebacks everywhere, upsets everywhere. What a way to kick off the season. It was truly amazing. And even in the fantasy world, we had a bunch of comebacks with that Sunday night football game. Over 84 points scored. It was just truly out of this world. So let's jump right into it with the standings. So we have some of the standings. Let me make sure I'm in the full frame with this board. So with our standings, NFC West, 2 teams 1-0, or 3 teams 1-0, 1 team 0-1, with the Niners, Rams, and Cardinals all picking up wins. NFC North, we have the Packers and Vikings picking up wins, being 1-0, and then 2 others being 0-1. NFC East, we have 2 teams 1-0, 2 teams 0-1, with the Eagles and Commanders picking up divisional wins. Then we have the Buccaneers, it's the lone winners in the NFC South, with the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons all getting the loss. AFC North, we have 2 1-0 teams, Bengals and Steelers, and 2 0-1 teams. AFC South, we have the Colts at 1-0, Jaguars at 1-0, as they picked up wins in their first week, and the Titans and Texans at 0-1. AFC West, we have the Chargers, Broncos, and the Raiders all getting wins, with the lone loser in the AFC West being the Chiefs. Who would have thought? AFC West, we have the Bills, and Bills being the lone winner, as the Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets all got losses. My favorite game of the week had to have been the Jets-Steelers game. That was one of the more fun games to watch. Just seeing 2 quarterbacks that nobody knew what to expect to just go out there and light it up was a lot of fun. As we go into the fantasy scores, we had some comebacks in here as well, where 2 games were decided with that Sunday night football game between the Bills and the Ravens. Prestige Worldwide ended up taking the L against NFL Lex, or NFL X, I don't know, NFL X, I guess. 132 to 124. The Devil Dogs, spoiler alert, best team this week, took down last place as they put up 148 points. M&M's versus the Cheese Bandits. Cheese Bandits came to play in week 1 with 120 points. And then the Hideaways versus Gramps. Hideaways taking the win at 101.78 to 83.38. Again, we had comeback wins in both Prestige and NFL X, and the Hideaways versus Grams. Both had the respective running backs and quarterbacks for that game that really just set them over. What became a 30% and 20% win for the NFL Lex and Hideaways turned into a 100% win, as Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and James Cook just took over that game and took over the running. Over here, we have something a little bit new that I wanted to try this year. We have the perfect lineup and then the imperfect lineup. So our perfect lineup, everyone who played the right players, we have Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Zay Flowers, Puka Nacua. Then we have Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr., and the Broncos, totaling for a total perfect score of 193 points and 96. Then, with the imperfect lineup, and I love just seeing the differences in here, we have Joe Burrow, David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco, A.J. Brown, Xavier Worthy, Mark Andrews, Tyreek Hill, and the Buffalo defense, shockingly, at a total of a whopping 31.22 points. It was definitely an odd week where some names that you expect to see on here in the perfect lineup, such as Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, and then some names that you really shouldn't have seen on this imperfect lineup, being A.J. Brown, Xavier Worthy being an injury is a tough one, and then Joe Burrow, I'm broken because of this. 8 points is pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. Going into the awards for this week, let me turn this over a little bit. We have 5 awards to give out. Best team going to Devil Dogs with 148.66 points, led by Lamar Jackson. This team took over and had almost a 50-point win against, or had almost a 40-point win, against last place, which is a huge accomplishment. The worst team, or the team with the most improvements, is going to be Gramps. Only getting 83.38. That Lions duo of running backs did not help out this week, unfortunately, with Montgomery and Gibbs not getting enough carries, in my opinion. I think that game was a little bit weird for the Lions, and I think that they go back to the drawing boards, and I think they'll be perfectly fine for next week. The best player of this week was Josh Allen from NFLX, or Jimmy, scoring a whopping 38.76 points. And then we have the best bench player, which was Justin Herbert, 27.92 points. He balled out in Brazil. This is the best bench player, but I would have probably played Patrick Mahomes over Justin Herbert in that game too. It was only a 1 point difference, so last place, you shouldn't feel too bad about leaving Justin Herbert on the bench. We have our biggest free agent. The quarterbacks sweep the board this week, with biggest free agent being Justin Fields at 29.32 points, and he could be up. He's still available in our league to this hour of recording. I'm sure that's going to change after this video and before Sunday, but Justin Fields, always an inconsistent wild card. You never know what you're going to get, if you're going to get him throwing the ball 5 times with 17 carries in a game, or if you're going to get a couple of slingshots with 20 plus passes. But a fun team they have down there in New England, or up there in New England. There you go. Then we have our power rankings. Now again, I do not make these power rankings. These power rankings come from the ESPN app. And what do you know? NFLX ranked for number 1 this week, followed by the Cheese Bandits and Devil Dogs, top 3. Hideaways in 4th, with last place coming up in 5th. Prestige Worldwide in 6th, and then we rounded out with Gramps at 7, and the defending back-to-back reigning champs, M&M's, in 8th. So it's gonna be a fun season. I'm super excited to get into week 2. Matchups start on Thursday. I might get out the preview for week 2 on Saturday though, so make sure that you are looking at your lineups. Thursday's game is going to be, I believe, my prediction. Maybe we'll come back and this is all wrong, but my prediction for that Thursday game is a very low-scoring defensive game. The Commanders' defense held the Giants, again, it's the Giants, to under 10 points, and then that Packers defense with Micah Parsons just looks scary. And it was his first game. He doesn't even know the people he's playing around. So that is my prediction for that game. Low scoring. A lot of players in the league are in that game. So definitely make sure your lineups are set and keep on the injury watch. The only injuries I believe for that game would be, I think Jalen Reed took a little bit of a tumble during that game. He might be questionable. Other than that, I don't think there's anything too big on either of those teams. So if you have a player on those teams, you should be good to start them. So I will see you guys Saturday. All right.